Hello YouTube, SentinalhMC here, welcome back to more Space Engineers. Are you going to say hi to the people?
Hi to the people.
We got Waterlubber again, and we're picking up where we left off. So, we left off building this, which is going to be awesome when it's finished. And a bunch of steel plates were working and being created while I was waiting here, so I've got like 600 steel plates now. Ready to...
I wish you should change the name of the faction to SCP just for
ready
fun.
to be welded on. But we're not like horrible monsters.
They're not all horrible monsters.
I know, some of them are horrible artifacts.
They're not all horrible. Some of them are actually really useful.
Pretty much everything is bad
No.
in some way.
Now, what was I gonna build last time that I completely? Oh yeah, the
Can't argue about
this
that.
thing.
Pretty much everything in SCP is bad, and they wanted it that way. I remember reading the rules for submission, and they said that if you're submitting like a person or something, it shouldn't be someone that you'd want to be, because then it needs to be horrible. It was like
I'm gonna rename all the
being
cargo
horrible
containers.
was like a requirement.
How many cargo containers do we have? Just one.
Yeah, well, it's been sufficient so far.
How much? We're about, I don't know, maybe halfway full.
Yeah, but we constantly use the resources that are in it, so it's never. It's not like we're letting it store anything up. Like we're always using it. So.
Okay. I don't know which is worse, bad FPS or low screen resolution.
I don't know. And man, recording really did change my frame rate. I was getting a comfortable 40, now it's down to 17.
The priority definitely helps with that recording. You've already started though, so
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
That's good.
I do that on Resident Rise. It actually gives me an extra 50 or so.
Okay, I'll have to fiddle around and stuff. I might be switching to DX Story soon because Frost has been giving me such a headache recently. Well, you can now stand and walk around in this thing.
Which thing?
Cockpit.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Walk around in it now.
I think I just hit something.
What?
I think I just smashed the cargo ship. Yep.
Come on. Oh, I can't weld that.
Please don't be broken.
Duh.
Great. I lost mouse lock. I'm not controlling anymore.
Get this going. So what are you working on?
I'm gonna build that hangar thing.
Alright, you're still working on that hangar thing. Cool.
I need steel plates. I'll just put them in manually because I'm
You're
lazy.
making it big enough for all the small ships.
It's big enough to house them safe-ish.
Safe-ish. Luckily, mine is very skinny. The Metcapoo is very skinny.
It's the Meow
It's
Kapow.
not. It's not.
It's the Meow Kapow. We are out of iron completely.
I know, because they made it
Totally.
into plates. You need to go mining for iron.
Where are the thingies that make
The
stuff?
thingies that make stuff?
The thingies that make stuff. You know the thingies that make stuff. You don't know about the thingies that make stuff?
Can't say that I do. Why don't you enlighten me?
Look. Oh, you know the assemblers. And
It's a very interesting way to name for the assemblers.
No. My W key for some reason just acted like it was pressed 24/7. I don't even know. It glitched out and went full throttle ahead. I'm mining pretty fast with this iron. I'm gonna mine a tunnel to the other side of the asteroid in case you want to get out, in case we get raided by
Okay.
bombarians.
Raided by barbarians.
Space barbarians.
Space barbarians. That's the worst kind of barbarian.
The AI for barbarians needs a little work.
Of course, it's just the first iteration.
And I think most of all what it needs is a bit more pathfinding other than just, if not outside near King Statue, break.
Well, yeah. But, you know, they got the first iteration in. Now it's time to go ahead and,
The whole thing with the first iterations reminds me of Jurassic Park.
everything's an iterative process.
Have you ever read Jurassic Park?
I've not read Jurassic Park. No.
It's actually a really good book. There's a lot different from the movie.
Well, I imagine.
They switched him and,
Alright, well, I need more iron for this thing. That barely did it. That amount of iron actually barely did anything. Barely made a dent. So, we have a mining ship somewhere.
Yep. You know what it's doing?
What is it? What?
Mining.
Oh, you're mining.
I drilled a hole to the side of the asteroid.
Okay. I've been thinking about my modular ship and thinking about what I might need to add to it. Because I was thinking about what happens if we lose power. Because in order to make the ship perfectly modular to the point where you can take bits off and reassemble it, you
need to have a reactor on everything.
You have to not connect it up to anything else. So if the freaking merge blocks lose power, every piece of the ship will fly apart. So the best way I could think of to fix that is to put a battery in each component.
Another thing you could possibly do is just either a solar panel or, well, then again,
really won't be all that
I was thinking of having thrusters on some of the main.
No, because my intention with this modular ship is that if it's not a thruster module, it won't have thrusters on it. Who knows if that? I mean, I'm not claiming to be making something practical, but that's what I'm going to do. So if it's not a thruster module, it does not have thrusters. So I've got to design this. I've already designed a couple thruster modules, but I'm not really sure if I like them yet. I have to decide if I like them. It's always a difficult process for me deciding if I like something that I've made. Because more often than not, I don't. Because I'm like incredibly
picky.
Yeah, especially when it comes to stuff that I've done myself.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, the bug where my W key gets stuck down for no reason happened again.
You didn't crash into something, did you?
It smashed the welders, but they're not destroyed. Yeah, I smashed into the asteroid, hopefully. I think the asteroid took more damage than the welding ship.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, none of them really took damage, which is very lucky. Nope. For some reason, it destroyed the middle part of it. Like, maybe the shockwave? Does it have it?
Who knows what's what?
We need to be able to access conveyors.
Yeah, well done.
How's the Meow Kapow coming?
That's been done for a while.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, it's like a fighter / cargo / tow ship. I put a landing gear in the front. You can use it to tow the modular pieces into place once this thing is...
The character is way too bouncy.
What's too bouncy?
The character, he just bounces off of everything he touches.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, literally, I touch the thing going 1 meters a second, which is water walking speed, and I bounce off it too.
Your suit is made out of rubber.
Oh, actually, that might be true. Maybe that's by design, so instead of smashing your suit, you just bounce off.
So you're rubber. Yeah.
You're rubber, I'm glue. Everything you...
I wonder how many people, when they see this shit, are gonna end up asking in the comments, how come you're not using any of the new blocks? Because I designed it before the...
Because they're horrible.
I designed it before the new blocks came out. Besides, I quite like the... Every single part of this modular ship so far has a very angular design. So I'm probably going to stick to that, with a few exceptions. I might use the round blocks when I'm working on reactor modules.
Yeah, you should have them on passenger modules or something.
I've already got passenger module designed.
It's calling me.
The passenger module is finished.
Not too bad. That's what's nice about building in creative. It's just so much easier with symmetry and everything.
Yes,
than
designing. That's what I like. Designing in creative and then project it in survival.
That's the projector block. Definitely one of the best things they've added so far.
Really like it. People are like, well, these blueprints are nice, but can we get them in survival? Projector! Took a little while, of course, because that's not...
They did a really good job
it's not
on
an
it, too.
easy
First
thing to... I can't imagine it was easy. It's so good. I mean, I know the limitation that it can only project one grid is kind of annoying, but, I mean...
What do you
Before
expect?
that, we couldn't project any grids, so... You know?
I think once they add the piston grid thing, that's gonna go away.
Once they've redone the pistons and rotors so that they're good, and that system, where like compound grids actually works, it's gonna be, the game is just gonna, like, the level of quality and playability of the game is gonna shoot through the roof on Tesla.
Especially now that we've got DirectX 11 implemented.
Well, is that in yet? I haven't seen anything that, I haven't in any patch notes so far
Eat steel plates.
saying that they have enabled that yet. It takes a while to implement a new renderer.
Can't wait till KSP hits Unity 5.
Yeah, a lot of things in Unity 5. I backed a project on Kickstarter called Survive the Nights quite a while ago. It's a zombie survival game. It actually looks really good. So they were estimating back then, this is quite a while ago, that the first playable alpha would be in February. That was before they decided to switch to Unity 5. So the switch to Unity 5 took a long time. So that all got pushed back. And some people were like, bleh!
The same people who probably worked for him in an uprising.
Some people were like, blah! People were arguing that they had paid to get the, like somebody said in a comment, I paid to get the prototype in February, and they said no, you backed with the possibility of getting it in February.
Developers, a lot of people can't provide Kickstarter because of people like that who demand way before the developers could possibly.
Well, some people just have a hard time understanding. A lot of people, most people don't have investment experience. So, like,
I actually invested in a few stocks and made a couple of $1,000.
Investors understand the concept of putting in money towards an idea that may or may not come to fruition in the way that they originally hoped. Consumers, on the other hand, most of these people, especially most of them that are teenagers or younger, are used to paying money, get product. It's like, pay money, get product.
That's because they grew up on iPhones.
So, when you have a system where it's not pay money, get product, it's pay money and a product might get made, it's an investment, which means there's no guarantee, well, they tend to misunderstand the system. But don't get me wrong, there are people who abuse the system to no end. Especially Peter Molyneux.
Speculators.
Well, I'm looking at you, Peter Molyneux. Have you, the goddess stuff is just nuts. But then Peter Molyneux has a history of over-promising and not delivering. Ever since the original Fable. I never knew about the controversy around the original Fable, because I never heard anything about the hype. So I had no idea that I had no idea that there was an entire subset of people who were highly disappointed when Fable came out, because I always thought it was a great game. But there were a lot of people that were upset when Fable came out because it didn't have all the crazy features that Molyneux had promised.
There's only so much you could give, but
yeah. Peter Molyneux needs to learn to keep his mouth shut.
Kickstarter is one of the things that are a really great idea and concept, but when they're actually produced,
well, I still think it's good, and you can't say that it hasn't worked out, because there have been a lot of great games and great projects, not just games.
I think I'm just going to make another assembler.
There have been a lot of great projects that have come about because of Kickstarter that would not have existed otherwise, so it's totally been effective. I think it's been a really positive force, especially on the indie scene. Was Indiegogo around before Kickstarter? I think it was.
It was. Because I remember reading about it, and I believe Popular Science? Can't remember.
But see, I had never heard of Indiegogo until after I heard about Kickstarter.
I think there's actually a hidden config file, like in the world itself, that has, you could set like assembler multiplier and assembler speed and stuff like that. So you can't cheat by assembling, but you can assemble stuff faster. Because I was viewing on the server list a few of them, and some of them had settings like, whoa.
What?
I was just welding, and I suddenly flew across the room at high speeds and died instantly.
That's weird. I'm sorry I didn't get that on video.
flying Waterlubber corpses.
Yeah, indeed.
Where did my corpse go? I can't find it because human bodies don't show up on me. Where is it? Where is my corpse?
What, you don't see it?
No. Do you?
Where were you when you died?
I was over here by the this thing. I
That's
died physically.
Right here.
Where? Oh, I can't see you. Oh, I see your jetpack lights.
It's right.
Now I just have to look around until I see
right,
the
right here. By that wall bit. It's like over there. Your dead
Where?
body. Wait, you just don't see the bodies at all? They don't render for you?
I don't see any Nope, they don't render. And well, they do render, but they render 5 times the size of the top of my screen permanently in a white shadow that I can't remove.
That sounds really weird.
I could share my screen after you're done recording and show you. It's really horrible.
It does sound very odd and not...
But it's the weirdest bug.
That does sound very, very weird.
Where's the body? I can't find it. Could you loot it for me and put the loot inside the welding drone?
Oh, right. You want me to loot it?
Yes. I'm gonna make another assembler because
Is it
assembly
T or K
is
to loot
slow.
bodies? It's K.
I.
It's K. Alright, I grabbed some
I.
of your steel plates. I always like the music in this game. But man,
Yeah.
the music in Medieval Engineers is amazing.
The most annoying part of the music is when it plays like the battle music when you're just welding
Well,
stuff.
it makes everything you do feel epic.
You haven't heard the Stanley Parable Adventure Line song in Space Engineers. It makes every game you play feel epic. I have got almost 1 full cargo container, and I'm going to fill this entire thing up with iron.
We'll get some going, though. I need to make some more stuff. Just collecting these bones.
How's our uranium doing? Do I need to get more?
Let me check. 62.
There's plenty.
Plus, I think we still have more raw uranium in the refineries. It's refines when there's something else to refine. Yes, we do.
Oh no, you've turned into sage.
What?
Nothing. Sage from blasting. Oh, look, there's the patch. There's the patch that we have to protect against marauding meteors.
Patch?
Yeah. Wait.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna replace with the blast door. Because this thing is nearly full.
Some girders. Glass. We need a lot of glass. We need a lot of glass for this. We need to go...
Should I go get silicon after I unload?
Actually, we've got 77 bulletproof glass, so I think it's going to be fine. But I need to produce girders. Yes.
What do you need to make
Iron.
girders?
It's all iron now. It's all over.
Don't, please. Please. Please don't, Sentinel.
You know. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Don't. I wish I didn't.
I think everybody wishes they did.
And 500 ore rocks have spawned. I know how much you love collecting ore rocks, so, you wanna come here and, knock yourself out?
No, I'd rather not knock myself out with ore rocks. I like to stay conscious. I see that there's been ore rocks raining from the ceiling.
Oh, they must be getting hit by the gravity generator.
Because,
It's raining iron coming out of the sky. Iron. This is a reference that no one will get.
how come all this, oh no, you're connected. So I see your medium cargo containers. But the stuff isn't moving. Are you having to... Do you have to move it manually into the refinery?
Yeah, because the refinery is full, so I have to move stuff around inside of the refinery itself. Where's the arc furnace? There it is. Arc furnace, it smelts up the ores. We need more refineries and assemblers. Oh no! No. Okay.
What did you
That's
do?
better.
Did you hit the button that turns everything off?
I meant to hit P, but I hit Y. I'll turn it back on. Wasn't my
Yes,
fault.
it was.
No,
It
it
was. You
wasn't.
hit the wrong button.
I blame my keyboard. It's a poorly designed control
You're the one who
scheme.
hit the wrong button.
Keen's fault.
obvious.
Blame
It's
Keen.
obviously your fault.
Oh yeah, just blame the Waterlubber whenever something goes wrong. Just blame me.
You're the one who hit the wrong button. It's obviously your fault. That's like the definition of.
Did you take all the materials I was using to build another assembler?
Why did you turn the assemblers out of cooperative mode?
Because I was making another assembler with the second assembler.
Well, now all the stuff that I queued up in the thingy have. Oh, there's my phone. I'm not available to help them. I know who's calling, so I know they want.
Is it
No,
Nathan?
it's not Nathan. It's some friends of ours that have a ton of computer problems, mainly because they don't know what the heck they're doing.
It's Linux. Linux is the perfect operating system
And,
for them.
no, it isn't. And so they have to ask me for help a lot. I don't mind helping them, but I'm not available right now.
At my old school, they had no idea how any of the computers worked, and
My
whenever
dad
something
can
was wrong,
help them, though, so he'll have to help me. We need to increase the gravity range of our gravity.
I set it to be as conservative as possible because we are poor when it comes to.
You're
Well, I guess
talking
not.
about we have tons of uranium in the reactor. You know, Assembler 1 isn't even doing. Assembler 1 isn't doing anything if you want to queue stuff up in it.
We need equivalent exchange for
Equivalent exchange for space engineers, huh?
equivalent exchange for space engineers. Exactly. Best thing ever.
What would you equivalently exchange?
Stuff.
Stuff? Wow, that is a great description. I'm in awe of your descriptive powers.
You should see what I do when I don't know.
Next big author
Something.
NA.
Something.
You could be the next,
The character went to the house.
with that level of descriptive,
He opened the door of
with
the
the-
house. He saw stuff.
with that level of descriptive power, you could write the next Twilight. I love making fun of Twilight.
Who doesn't?
People who like Twilight.
Why don't we make 400 solar panels because of the solar cells we have? Wait, what's in these things? Maybe we could break them down and get some stuff.
Which also means people that have no taste.
There's a ton of silicon in these things.
I'm totally okay with offending everybody who likes Twilight because those books are horrible and you know it.
We all know
I mean, I find it hard to believe that people who like... I mean, it's fine if you like Twilight, but I find it hard to believe that even people who like it don't...
hate it.
Well, even people who like it must realize the writing is very amateur. Don't get me started on 50 Shades of Grey. It's like the worst piece of literature that's come out in the last 100 years.
Have you ever read the literature textbooks they give you in school nowadays? All the stories are in Spanish. They write the story in Spanish, then translate it to English, and then they put both in the same story. So Spanish word, English word, Spanish word, English word.
That sounds hard to read.
It's impossible to read. I get really bad grades in all my literature tests because I can't understand the literature. The other day we had Spanish words. I'm like, why? Spell Spanish words. I'm fine with Latin. That's enough for me.
You're fine with Latin.
Yeah, call me a nerd. I know Latin. Yeah,
I mean, I learned how to sing it, but
sing Latin.
yeah, I was in choir in high school, so we sung a lot of songs that are in Latin. Pretty much every song written by Mozart.
They're in Latin, really?
Well, any songs that were written for the Catholic Church back then were written in Latin because Latin was the official language of the Catholic Church. So if you wrote song, and basically if you were a songwriter back then, like Mozart or Beethoven, the Catholic Church was one of the only buyers of songs. It wasn't like it is today. Back then, if you were a songwriter, you needed patronage.
It's a
You
monopoly.
needed patronage, so you needed somebody to buy the songs from you. And more often than not, it was the Catholic Church, because they were one of the few people that really wanted songs. Where are all of our construction components? We had a ton of them, they're all gone.
They're all only assembled. Oh no, they all went into the conveyor system.
What do you mean?
The connector and stuff up there.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm making more though, so. Oh. It's the world's slowest taskbar thing. They take way too long to make.
Yeah, they do. It's pretty...
I mean, come on. It's, what?
It's a...
Waiting for the chickens to lay the eggs to bake the cake?
It's a toolbox. Yeah, it's a very slow toolbox.
The slow toolbox.
It reminds me of an episode of Reboot, which was a really good show, where it took place...
You taking all the steel plates out? I need the steel
I'll
plates!
give you some steel plates.
I need like, how many do I need? I need like about 100.
That's about what I have. Lucky you, I'll put it in the turn container. There.
Woohoo, lucky me. Today is my lucky day. I think I won the lottery.
If that's all it takes for
There
you
you
to feel like you won the lottery, you should be the happiest person in the world. All I need to be happy is about 100 steel plates. If only we all could be so happy.
I'm happy. Song, song, song. I need 4 more. I'm not happy
I just
anymore.
heard about Pharrell and Robin Thicke getting sued because Robin Thicke's song "Blurred Lines." Somebody argued the Martin is it Martin Gaye or Robin Gaye? I forget which. Estate sued Robin Thicke and Pharrell. I think Pharrell produced it. Anyway, sued him because they said that "Blurred Lines" was ripping off one of his songs, one of Martin Gaye's songs. Now there were similarities to the songs, yes, but pretty much every single music critic that weighed in had the same thing to say. They said that there are significant differences between the songs. It's not a ripoff. But the court ruled in favor of the state, and so Robin Thicke and Pharrell, or Robin Thicke, I forget, just him or whatever, has to pay the Martin Gaye estate like $4 million. They were looking for 12, or is it $7 million? Either way, they were looking for 12 million. They didn't get 12 million.
That's why copyright law is
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it sets a very dangerous precedent because the songs have so many differences. It will allow people to sue.
It's like YouTube.
Because songs build off of songs throughout history.
Yeah, you're right. It's pretty hard to just come up with a tune without having some relation to some
especially
other...
since there are a limited number of chords and tonalities that are actually appealing to the human ear. Limited. So there is, while there are, because a lot of people, I was watching a video about this some time ago because it's really interesting. People,
like every rock song in existence has the same sound.
Well, here's the thing. People ask this question quite often. They ask, well, if there's so many different combinations of notes, how come all these songs are sounding the same? And the answer that these scientific people gave was simple. They said that while there are enough musical notes, that there could be an infinite number of songs. They're saying that there will never come a time when there are no more songs. Because the question was, would it be possible for there to be so many songs written that there are no more songs possible? That every possible combination of notes has been used up. And they said straight up, no, that will never happen. The universe will die before that happens. That's what they said. Because there are so many possible combinations that it's impossible. Problem...
Well, they could be infinitely
The problem
long,
with that is that there are a limited number of chords and whatnot that are actually appealing to the human ear. So while, yes, there is an infinite number of possible songs, there is not an infinite number of songs that sound good. At some point, and we see that already, songs will start sounding very similar because that's what people want. If you want, of course, not everybody. Some people like genres of music that sound horrible.
For example, actually, no, I'm not going to say that.
Well, no, there's a version. There's a genre of music that is designed to not sound good. I forget what it's called. It has some yucky sounding name. Like they called it some name that sounds gross. Like it's not a fun name to say. I don't know, but I've heard it and it's awful. But they did it on purpose. That appeals to some people, but for most people, it doesn't. So that's why it's a niche genre, and that's why most pop songs sound very similar, because that is what people want to listen to. Anyway, that's enough. That's all we've got time for right now. I hope you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for future episodes. I'm SentinalH, and I'm signing out.